Aloha and welcome back. This is Natasha. So today I'm going to be focusing on the small and large die of the month from Spellbinders for the month of January 2020. So taking the large die from that small die set, I'm going to be using the Moda scrap paper from, what did that say? Let's Bloom. And I'm going to be using this watercolored background, cut out that panel there, and then just using all the letters, and it has a really nice embossed like texture on it. So I used this Tim Holtz purple foiled cardstock. I'm going to show you the beautiful like embossing that you get on this die cut here. Okay. So I'm just going to be, there's a little piece that comes in the die set and it cuts out the center part of the circle. So you can do just a regular circle, or you can do this little added piece which kind of goes in with the rest of all the, what am I trying to say? The little stems and leaves. Okay, so I wanted to show you guys this. So mine's is pretty old, but this is your tweezers. A lot of crafters have them. When you pinch them, they open. When you let go, they shut so that you can work with stuff. But I didn't know that in the back of it, it's a little magnet that you can help pick up like your little dies. I accidentally found that out with this little circle die here. It got attached to the back of my tweezers, and so yeah, anyway, you can use that as a fun little tool to help you pick up your dies. Okay, so I took some craft cardstock. I'm going to be using this My Favorite Things background stamp set. This is the Make Your Mark background stamp set, using that Hero Arts caramel ink pad. And I'm going to be inking up the background. I'm going to take my panel and I just lay my background stamps just flat on my surface, and then taking a scrap piece of paper, and I just transfer the ink onto the panel. Okay, and then I'm just going to be gluing down with liquid adhesive the focal point here, the Love die cut, using my handy dandy tweezers. And then what I did here is I popped up on foam adhesive the Love die cuts there. And it gives it that extra, pop, that extra dimension there. Okay, so I took the same cardstock, the lavender foiled cardstock, and I cut out a bunch of little pieces that go with this this die set, not stamp set. There's a couple of little sprig pieces that has flowers and hearts and all these little sprigs coming off of it. So I just die cut a couple, not a whole bunch, and then I just filled them in random spots. And then I attached that. I did ink up around the sides. It didn't show on camera, but I did that with Vintage Photo, and then place that onto an olive colored card base. Okay, so let's move on to the next one. I am using a couple of distress inks here. I believe this one is Peacock Feathers. And I have this like little scrap piece of paper. It's got a bunch of text on it. I don't even know. It's been in my pile for years. I don't even know who makes it, but any kind of text cardstock will do. And I just inked it up. I'm going to go between a couple of colors, and there's Mermaid Lagoon. Just kind of blending it together. And then I'm going to skip ahead to Stormy Sky and blend it on there. And the last color that I'm going to be pulling in is Fossilized Amber, I believe. Yeah, Fossilized Amber. Okay, so this one's going to be a very like masculine kind of, I guess, love, like Valentine's or love card. Yeah, I wanted it to be more masculine, so I popped that into my splatter box, and I'm going to be spraying some of this gold shimmer mist all over, and I'm doing it from a couple of feet above. You see it misting there, and I'm just going to show you it leaves these nice splotches, nice shimmer. And I'm going to be laying down that those die cuts that the love die cuts. I'm just gonna place those and then run it through my die cutting machine. Okay, so then I took that dark olive green cardstock that I use in the first card, and I'm gonna be using some random stamps. This one's from Studio Calico and Neat and Tangled. It was like a collab. And I'm gonna be using mainly those little cross looking stamps there. And then Hero Arts Layered Octopus. I'm gonna use that coral looking stamp. And then I have this random one from Prima Marketing, and it's just, I don't know what it's called. I was trying to look for it, but it's just like looks like a newspaper stamp. Okay, using these two inks here, I'm gonna be using some postage, or not postage, sorry, post-it tape, and just holding down, because it's the card base, so I just needed to hold it shut so I can do my stamping on the card front. Okay, so I'm gonna start with the Prima Marketing stamp, and I'm not using stamping blocks, I'm just using my hands. I wanted it to be very rustic and not stamped completely perfectly. Like I wanted it to have that vintagey kind of like a Tim Holtz kind of look, you know, grungy vintage kind of look. So I'm just I stamped it down there on the right hand side, and I'm gonna be not re-inking it and then stamping it again on that left hand corner. Okay, and then I'm gonna do this the same with this little cross stamp set. See how it's not completely catching. I'm using my hand again, not using a stamping block. So just trying to get random spots, and then I'm going to be going in with the coral piece there, and again just random areas. I remove the tape and so that I can get into that spot there. And once I feel like I've done enough, basically, then I'm just gonna take some black soot, and I inked up a couple of spots, just the top corner and the bottom corner with black soot, and then I sprayed that that shimmer mist all over my card front. Okay, and here's the letters all cut out, and I wanted them to have different colors on each letter, but still, you know, it was made out of that panel, so it kind of all blends together. Okay, and then that's basically how the card came out. I will show you I forgot to film the last part of that card, so I will show you the still shot of it at the end. Okay, so this one I'm using the large die set. I took this washi tape that I have, and I placed it onto a white cardstock. I cut out the heart shape from that cardstock that I created with the washi tape, and here is the result. So that is covered in washi tape, and then I have all the insides, and I'm going to save that for the next card. Okay, so taking my alcohol inks, and I'm using two colors, but I'm not blending. I'm doing super simple watercoloring because this is washi tape. You can you can color with your alcohol markers on top of the washi tape. So just taking two of my yellow markers, and I'm just going to be coloring in that little citrus there in the middle part. Then I moved on to some pink, and I have the colors there on top of the screen, and two different pinks for that little strawberry, I think it is. Okay, I'm going to pull it closer so you can see how it's coming. It's super cute, very simple, but so bold. And then I'm using a couple of greens, and I'm going to be coloring that other citrus on the other side. Okay, and then I went and cut out from the same shape, this heart shape, I cut out some black cardstock so it could go behind, because right now it's just, you can see right through it. So I cut out some black cardstock, and I'm going to be placing that behind this washi taped piece that I have. Okay, so that the black stands out for the you and me. All right, and then basically this is just a tag for any kind of gifts you have around this holiday. There's these little clasp looking things that come in with the die set, so I cut those out, added some twine, and that one's done. Okay, so moving on to the next card, there's those pieces, you and me. So I'm gonna use that on this card here, and this will be the final card or final project. And I have all my pieces cut out. I cut out that piece there with some hot pink cardstock, and then I used fired brick to ink up around the die cuts. And then I just inlaid you and me. Okay, and then I'm gonna take this black and white striped diagonal stripe panel, and I'm gonna be using that as my focal point on my card base, and then just putting my hearts in place. And I did cut out from black cardstock, I cut out a bunch of those little like sprig things from the small die of the month set. So I'm just going to be taking those. I don't have my heart adhered down yet, so I'm just going to be placing the sprigs how I want them to go. Just adding some multi-medium and just placing, going random, and just placing a whole bunch of the little twig hearts and in behind these hearts, the heart die cuts. Does that make sense? I think it does. You get the gist of what I'm trying to do. Okay, so here's the panel. I glued everything down. I added some black sequins and some crystal sequins. And then I'm just gonna adhere that with some liquid adhesive, and that is done for that card. Okay, so here's a couple of still shots from the cards that I created today in this video. I really hope that you enjoyed this. I know I'm getting it out like just in the nick of time. January's over, and I can't believe that the first month of the year has already come to an end. It's just crazy how fast it's going. Okay, so here's a still shot of the card that I didn't get to finish on camera. So I did put a little sentiment strip, "You make my heart happy," and I added some sequins in blues and greens. Really, I think it's really masculine and you know, or it's feminine, but I think it's a more masculine Valentine's Day card, so that's fun. Okay, and then we have the last card here that I made. I like this one. This one's simple, and it could be for not just Valentine's. Okay, well, thank you so much for joining me. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Give this video a thumbs up. Let me know that you appreciate the videos I'm putting out. And look at how cute that little tag is. Adding that onto a little gift. That's so cute. Yeah, and follow me over on Instagram and Wong Yuen Designs. And mahalo. I'll catch you on the next video. Ahui ho.